Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are here with episode 13 of Macross 7, the unluckiest episode. How about you go ahead and remind us what happened last time?
Wow, last time was a big doozy because Mylene gets kidnapped in the middle of a date with Gamlin. The you know the Scooby Gang, I mean the Firebomber uh, group goes searching after her. Plus Miria's security detail plus Gamlin. But they find them because Guavava, which we also find out finally that in this episode it's an alien, has some way to track Mylene. So they find them in a warehouse area, which also apparently is connected, which kind of makes sense. You know, you warehouse stuff like that there, and then it's connected to the outside so that containers go in and out. The aliens kidnap a bunch of people because first they were just taking their spiritual, but now they were kidnapping them, put them in a container, and by the power of song, Basara and the band are able to find Mylene, and but and yeah, they find Mylene, but Mylene's put in a ship while the aliens attack, and he gets on his YF-19 or VF-19, rescues Mylene, but it was all a trap or sort of an operation within an operation because it turns out that the aliens managed to get into the fold system of the origin of the Macro 7 and separate the city section from the warship section, I suppose, and the military part, and they folded away and it's left there. Be continued. Which, by the way, is also done in the American style of putting to be continued as opposed to the, well, I say CCV, but that's the Japanese kanji, and I don't, it's the closest thing to the kanji that I can probably say.
So I'm just realizing something. Normally I think it's something I would have only realized when I went through my rewatch and took some notes. In the Alice, God, what's her name? I want to call her Alice Holiday, but that's not right. Whatever her name is, Alice, whatever. Um, Mylene did not realize that Alice got hit by the spirituous sampling beam and just assumed that she was tired, depressed, or asleep. And it's her singing, along with Basara's later and everyone else, that brings her back and raises her spirits back up so she regains consciousness, etc. Of course, I can't blame Mylene for not realizing that's the sequence of events that happened then. However, now that she gets taken captive in this episode, gets woken up by the song, starts singing, and watches other people who have
Wake
been
up.
knocked out being woken up by the singing. She now has the information to be able to share with other people about all these hundreds of people that are in comas and how to wake them up. Now, do I think she's going to do that? No. I don't think she's going to have the presence of mind to put two and two together. Do I know somebody who would very much be interested in that? Yes, Gamlin is still obsessed with Docker and the fact that Docker is in a coma. I think the show is going to pull. I'm just trying to anticipate a storyline in the future. That Gamlin is going to get angry at Mylene for withholding information that she's not going to have the presence of mind to share, that's going to keep his friend in a coma for a long period of time until somebody else puts this information together instead of her.
Oh, I also believe that her dad would certainly want to know the information. Her mom would certainly know the information. Ray would know, I think Ray probably be the best candidate to put it together once she describes what happens. I'm like, oh yeah, we started seeing it everywhere woke up. She might not understand how it works, but I think Ray would go like, really? Because Ray's the only, I mean,
These
the entire
characters
band have only three brain cells, and Ray uses two of them mostly. So yeah.
these characters that you mentioned are in fact intelligent enough and want the information. However, the element you're forgetting here is that this is primarily a love triangle anime, and that the person in this love triangle who would get the most upset and has the highest amount of need to know is Gamlin. We
And he's
showed
not
from
there.
the very beginning that Gamlin and Docker have a connection. Docker's been out since the very beginning. Docker was the very first reason I thought Spiritua had anything to do with the singing, because Docker goes from this to that, and they're singing around him. However, now that I think about it, there's nothing connecting I guess maybe they're singing on a broadband. That maybe the military guys were hearing it too. Then again, they should all have woken up if that's the case.
Yeah.
However, another then again, that was early on, and Basara had to change the tune a bit. That's why we got the whole mysterious music notes
Writing.
page thing that only Ray can read. Again, so much mystery. Again, it's so much mystery, but I think they're very effectively doing the peppering thing right. It's not so little that I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. But it's not too much that they give it all away. It's just enough that an idiot like me can still connect the dots. And I appreciate that. It's on my level. Kid who grew up with Scooby Doo level.
Yeah. Also, they do tend to refrain in this show from, as you know, it happens, and it's happening more often than not. Because when Mylene was talking about the whole thing with her parents, it's like, well, it kind of she kind of did like a, as you know, right? This they got it wrong, right? And Ray kind
Okay, you
of did
meant
that
that
as
way.
well.
Okay.
Yeah,
You meant in like character relationships and character backstory. I thought you meant like in the mystery sort of thing.
yeah.
Because the mystery sort of thing, they introduce a concept as part of the mystery when it's happening. I want to say like when the infiltrators like do something. Like again, it's like the concept of Alice versus this last episode. The concept of being, or even Docker, very minorly, then Alice, sort of in your face, but can still be misconstrued, I guess somehow because
No, no,
main
but the
characters don't
trope,
get it, and then in the warehouse thing.
yeah. But for example, when Ray is looking at the the scribbles, the other language is using the music. He doesn't when Marlene's like, oh, what the heck is that? He doesn't turn to Marlene and go like, well, as you know, this is the language of the blah 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 blah. He's like, oh, it's just
Well,
some
that's why I
notes,
said
right?
I appreciate the sprinkling of the mystery.
Yeah.
I
He
don't.
doesn't.
I guess I'm not really reading the as you know moments.
Yeah. Also, when they're talking, when my Milena and what's her name, and her husband Max, ex-husband Max, she's in a situation where he's debriefing her, right? It's not like, well, I'm going to tell you what's going on. It's like, no, this is what we have, right? You're here because you should know about it. I also like that Max actually gets her, I said that before, gets her into the loop. Like, I trust you. You're a
I don't
professional.
think you can appreciate that. How many episodes has she gone after him about trying to get into the loop? And
No,
then
but the thing is, no, he actually has told her everything he knows up to that point. He hasn't told about
you and me
the
have
Basara
different
thing.
memories about this because, in my
Yeah.
memory, she has told him everything she knows, and Max has been like, "We can't do anything. We're investigating." He has given her
Oh,
no information. She's hit
no,
him
no.
with all the information up until Max then says everything he knows. So,
No, because
like
the first
11
time,
episodes of her dogging him down.
no, no, no.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they meet, he's like, "This is what we got."
No.
And as things,
No,
yeah, I
you are
think so.
misremembering this, and if so be it, if it takes 3 months for the commenters to reach us on this one, she hits him with complaints every fucking time, and her
Yeah, but the
complaints,
complaints
her
are,
complaints are the information, and Max never gives her anything back. He's like, "We're investigating. There's nothing we can do," and that's that every time, right up until the very end, and that's when Max like levels with her about everything he's got, which, by the way, is not more information than she already had. She has been in the loop as much as all the information we get about what the infiltrators are up to are either from the news reports or Milia. I was going to say Mylene for some reason. Milia complaining to Max is all the information we get about the infiltrators.
no, but I mean about the whole. Now, it's not being infiltrated, but the whole thing about what's going on with the aliens and everything else, because he tells them about the planet, and it's like, oh, there's people that went missing, blah blah. We're investigating it, but we're not sure what the connection is. So yeah,
Again, that doesn't happen until way later. She complains that he doesn't tell her what's going on about the attacks from the aliens, and he doesn't tell her anything, just as we're investigating. They go through the entire process of breaking down all their information about the mechs, and the next time she complains to him, he still doesn't tell her anything. He is playing it hard to the chest, tight to the chest. That's why even when it comes down to the here's all the complaints that the mayor's office has to the military command, and then she goes back and forth about the citizens aren't stupid. There's going to be complaints to the mayor's office too, and that's kind of when they start sharing information.
Anyway, that's what happened last episode. So we're in a cliffhanger. See what happens in this episode. I take it they take them wherever this mysterious fleet is at, because that's we see ships in space. We don't see a planet. So
I think it's been my guess that the thing we see Lord Gepidnik constructing in that little floating sphere thing isn't going to be an actual physical thing. I think it's probably like a you know how like in a science thing they'll show you like atoms floating around and they're like okay we combine these kind of atoms together and we'll form this new substance blah 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 blah. It's probably like the visual representation of spiritua is my guess. I mean it's either that or it's the fucking farm, but I don't think it's
I
the
mean,
farm. I the
no, but
fact that
I think
they bring back
I didn't.
spiritual samples, and when they bring it back, that's when Lord Gepidnik like forms two pieces together. So I'm thinking it's like a combination of
No.
spiritua.
But I'm thinking that they're taking Macross City back to either the fleet or to a planet.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Like,
probably to
yeah,
the fleet. I'm agreeing with you on
yeah,
that. I was just thinking
yeah.
that um I'm trying to put it out there before the episode can, because if I say let's go watch it and then I start saying it and the episode's doing it while I'm talking, it feels less intuitive if I say it now and it happens in the episode. So I'm throwing out there that I think that thing floating in front of Lord Gepidnik is a visual representation of like whatever the model of spiritua is. Like we all know the atomic model of things floating around each other, or um, yeah, I think I've gotten that out. I think we all understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, then let's go ahead and get on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
You know, I never know what the guitar is doing.
Is it an auto guitar?
No. I mean, I hit play there, then I focus my attention back over on the OBS to make sure everything's going all right. So that half a second that the guitar is on screen, I recognize the guitar lights up or something, but I've never had my eyes on it in that half a second to know what it's doing.
It just seems to be strumming itself.
I guess I never really paid attention to it when I'm doing my notes either. I think I skip right through the intro to get to the episode. We also haven't seen that scene yet, so I assume that when
It might be today.
yeah, when they transfer the farm over, they go and just subjugate the citizenry. Flower Girl's hand. She's a ghost. And I'm assuming there, yeah, right? Transfer it to the fleet, so that'd be Lord Gepidnik's ship. And there's Gwilvava's dad. The skeleton in the background. It's a joke. It's a game. It's an alien. Also, in the background of the opening right there with all the flaming picture back shots, there's a couple of buildings in the background with blue flame coming up off of them, kind of reminiscent of the Macross Plus symbol.
Power music.
このシティセブンから連れ去られてたまるもんですか。
Too late there.
ほら貴様らミレーヌ様をどこにやった。ミレーヌはファイヤーボンバーのメンバーなんだよ。俺たちの歌が届けばきっと答える。歌が届く。
パサラスピリチュアファームプロジェクト
Really, they didn't know exactly what words to clip from everybody. They just clipped a bunch of different words.
私の夢が叶う時が来た
Also, unless the command part of the Macross 7 ship has its own full drive, feels like they're just going to be isolated in space.
I mean, it was supposed to separate like a saucer session. I think it has its own.
You remember the saucer doesn't have warp drive. The saucer only has impulse. Impulse doesn't get you to the next place you need to get to.
ミレーヌさん、どうか無事でいてください。
ライン連間より二次探索バルキリー隊発進。アルファ327号機もっと探索機出してくれ。このままじゃ拉致があかん。引き続きエリアローズバリーリーダー。
I mean, they lose the city. They just lost the entire reason why they're here.
I mean, I imagine you still have all the traffic. Well, I guess I don't know how big the dome from the fold goes from across 7. Because we know it's an area around it. So it should be just cars floating in space.
こちらブリッジシティセブン応答願います
してやられた。まさかシティセブンごと敵に奪われてしまうとは。
Take your wife, man.
Well, they're taking them to a planet. Orbit around a planet?
I mean, it might be the planet that we keep hearing reference to.
Also, where's the security of this place?
I'm sorry, not even at the final destination yet.
Sideful.
再度ホールドするためにはエネルギー充填と座標軸固定にあと7時間必要。開始しろ。ゲペルニッチ閣下の作戦中断は不可能。了解。
One guy with a machine gun will ruin these guys' lives so easily. Whoa. Okay, that was unnecessary.
パパや
Yeah,
ガマリ
we'll
ーさ
keep
ん
doing it.
心配してるだろうな。お待たせ。
宇宙の迷子か。とんでもないことになっちまったな。
まあ、しょうがねえんじゃねえの。
何のんきなこと言ってんのよ。
そうは言っても。
Also, I'd like to point out that one guy with a machine gun is all of the military of Macross 7 that we've seen so far. But that one badass with a mustache.
現在シティセブンはバトルセブンと切り離され、とある宇宙空間を漂流しています。原因は目下究明中ですが、どうか心配なさらないでください。シティセブンのライフシステムは正常に作動しております。全く危険はありません。市民の皆さんには冷静に対処していただくようお願いいたします。
さて、どんな挨拶をしてくれるかな。
It wasn't a joke, the fetus.
地下動力システムを完全に制圧した。地下動力室に近づく者は抹殺する。へ、なるほど。
何
Straight
が
to
な
the point,
る
at
ほどよ。
least.
私たち敵の捕虜になっちゃったのよ。
どうってことねえだろ、そんなこと。
どこがどうってことないのよ。
ミレーヌ、ちょっとミリア市長のところへ案内してくれないか。
ママのところ？やはりダメです。すべてのアクセスを拒否されます。メインコンピューターを抑えられたようです。
エアロックも封
Did you
鎖さ
not
れ
hear
た
that
ままで
thing
す。
where they said they would
こ
kill
れでは
everyone
シ
if
ティセブン
they...
から脱出することもできません。
脱出
I mean, they're
しても
gonna
行く
try.
ところはないわ。
I mean, you don't have to if they're gonna kill everybody.
You don't know what they're gonna do with you, so.
Well, I mean, your
You know that
options are
they're-
die now or find
み
out
んな何
later.
をしても無駄だって分かったのかしら。はあ、いっそのこと市民全員が暴動でも起こしてくれれば活路も見出せるんだけど。
市長。
冗談よ。
Ever tell you about how I tossed my kid?
座標軸調整完了。これよりホールドエネルギー充填。予定より400秒の遅れ。急げ。あ。
あれは。
こちら D2 こちら D2 探索物を発見。
What Sherlock Holmes detective shit is this?
フォールドエネルギーが増大してる
Got
ん
a
です
rock
ね
in space, sir.
はい、この増幅度合いから見てあと4時間足らずで再フォールドするものと考えられます。
今夜0時がタイムリミットね。それまでに何とかしないと。空いてるわ。ママ。ミレーヌ。
君たちどうやってここに？
今シティセブンのどこだって
Knocked on the
セキ
door
ュ
and
リ
you
ティなん
said
か
come
働い
in.
てないわよ。どこへ行くにもフリーパス。
いい加減にしろ。まったくなんて無礼な奴らだ。すぐに出ていくんだ。
いいのよ。その子たちは私の知り合いなんだから。で、何の用かしら？
ちょっと暴れさせてもらおうと思いましてね。
暴れる？
艦長、回収された石片の分析結果が出ました。
本当か？
はい、放射線含有量から判断して座標軸 05SX、
Okay, this is the bullshit of the episode.
77MZ の空域のものと
We randomly found a rock floating in space, analyzed it, and know instantly of what part of space it comes from.
通常と違いあれだけ大きな物体をホールドさせた以上、
Like, aren't they the expedition ship? Who documented that?
シティセブンのフォールド通信回線が閉鎖されています。
続けろ。
了解。
我が艦がその空域にフォールドするために要する時間は？
さてかなりの遠距離ですな。
その空域まで到達するのにフォールドエネルギーのチャージには約8時間は必要かと。
8時間か。
艦長、ダイヤモンドフォースの近隣隊から緊急通信です。
こちらへ回せ。
艦長、It's an estimate.
我々にフォールドブースターの使用許可をお願いします。フォールドブースター。我々ダイヤモンドフォースがフォールドブースターで先にシティセブンの空域へ飛び敵の襲撃に備えたいと思うのですが、あのブースターはまだ開発段階だ。長距離での使用は危険すぎる。艦長、お話があります。ガムリン、何事だ？上官の通信に割り込むなど越権行為にも程があるぞ。まあいい。なんだね、注意。艦長、我々以上に危険なのはシティセブンにいる市民たちです。軍人が市民を守るために命を投げ出すのは当然の義務と考えます。どうか我々に出撃の許可をお願いします。艦長。よかろう。ありがとうございます。I mean, it's a shame that whole project to make a fighter craft that could fold to locations that was needed never came to fruition.
I mean, the fighter...
It's also weird that the fold boosters that we used 5 years ago during Macross Plus are still, you know, testing only. It's also weird that the YF-19 came out of testing models as the VF-19 without the thing it was supposed to do. If this is to indicate that you can just record it and play it to people.
I mean, they did the recording, so yeah.
Yeah, I just mean that the spiritual. It is chord C. Remember, that's what they said Basara's spiritual was like. You can just record the music and it has the same effect on spiritual. Which means that after you record Basara once, you no longer need him. I mean, it means it'd be perfect for the farm, though.
Yeah.
You can just keep draining them and have a looping CD play. Is he gonna go rebellion against Lord Nick now? He'd been tired of being used as a decoy all this time?
Yeah.
地上の音を探知。スピリチュア異常コード C の音と判明。そんなことは分かってる。はっきり確認したのか。ホールド作業優先中。 ゲペルニッチの命令は聞けても俺の命令は聞けんというのか。ならばそれなりに覚悟してもらうことになるぞ。了解。エルガーゾルン出撃。
Locating. You've literally got one TV screen following the car. It's right there. How can you see it and not know where it's at?
I mean, they should have control of the cameras and see where in the city this car is at. Yeah.
今作戦を第2段階に移す。お前さんの活躍はそれからだ。ミレーヌ、ビーダ、始めてくれ。
And I'm gonna find out what happens when the pacifists go wild.
Oh, he busted through an entire ship, so. I love her though. I love the fact that she has a boombox. It's just, Oh, I guess they're not the infiltrators.
I said it was a shot in the dark. I mean, I understand this is all just distraction work. It still explains nothing. I just don't understand what Basar's plan could be if we know he's not going to fight anybody.
そうね。保険をかけといた方がいいかもしれないわね。
保険？
ええ。
市長どちらへ？
言ったでしょ。保険をかけに行く
I'm
の。
assuming she's getting into a fighter jet or something.
Of course. I think
Also,
a bit of an intrigue.
if they have the authority of the mayor's office, why wouldn't they be playing this on like broadcast television so that like every TV that's turned on would be a distraction?
I think they want them to follow them, I suppose.
Well, I think they're just being moving targets. So, you know, as many people there are here would have to chase them.
How would it?
I don't know, maybe they were using the same power system or something.
Oh, it doesn't match. It's similar, but it doesn't match live performance, I guess.
I mean, they're obviously scanning Ray, so maybe the recording doesn't have it, yeah.
OK 本当に大丈夫でしょうか。僕が割り出した成功の確率だと 50% に満たないんですが。それだけあれば十分。
Oh, we're three of us, so 50% means one of you is going to disappear and the other two are going to go.
了解。D-Force forward.
A guarantee of one disappearing, another one may disappear, and the other one's going to make it. So, yeah, you got good odds.
オールドシステムエネルギー充填まであと45分。作業軸微調整完了。エルガーゾルン機関以降の確認は不必要。
Also, technically, even if it is out here, what is the spirit ship doing? Nothing. I guess it's gonna be Physgia. Physgia, what's the name?
Ilya?
No, Physgia. What are these guys?
Oh.
There's Gamlin, the guy who was in the old one with Ray, and then there's the new guy, Physgia.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna vanish. It's obviously gonna be the guy with no backstory connected to anybody.
こちらバサラ、潜入成功。これから動力室へ向かうぜ。了解。奴らおとりに気づいたかもしれん。関係ねえぜ。
あと30分は持たせたかったな。頼むぞバサラ。
頑張ってよパサラ。
Didn't they recall all these guys already?
異常コード Z の音発生サンプルを捕獲。エルアゾルン XZ 帰還命令が聞こえなかったのか。了解。これより帰還。
Or not, I guess they all admit it.
ミレーヌさんいた。こちら D212 時の方向にシティセブンを発見。
So I thought it was funny if for a moment if they Planet of the Apes did. We go over to Fissius Pocket and he's like 1,000 years old. You know, mummy.
こんなところに虫けらがいたぞ。こちら D1 R フォーメーションで擁撃する。
ホールドシステムエネルギー充填まであと9分。総員に次ぐホールド体制に入る前に各部署の配置につけ。
またフォールドさせる気なの？
フォールドシステム作動準備完了。
ホールドシステム
Oh, I thought they were actually turning around to guard her.
指定座標位置にホールドアウトするまであと8分。
The rest of this whole episode has been nothing but a countdown so far.
Yeah.
スピリチュア異常コード Z。
So we've gone from 7 hours to 7 minutes with literally nothing affecting the timer.
Oh, so much for him.
Well, we know he wasn't going to fight anybody. Well, Mylene's in danger, and that's Mylene in danger. Cool, thanks for telling me what that was about. So I guess if City 7... Never mind. I would say if City 7 folds away, these guys have no fold device of their own anymore. They're just gonna be stuck here waiting and hope someone comes to rescue them too. Instead of figuring out where City 7 went. So why is it glowing like that if it's not about to fold? I thought I just killed a random person on the car, not my own daughter.
危険ホールドシステムに当たる銃撃中止。
I remember that time I taught you how to operate the fold system as a child, right?
Okay, why do we keep cutting back to her?
Cool update, bro.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that we're firmly establishing Basara is helping nothing in the situation.
I mean, he did save Mylene from getting grabbed again.
No, remember, her mother came in and shot the arm off of the neck that was holding it. Basara's done nothing but sing in the background until this. Didn't stop it, probably just made it transport it random to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which again means that these three are stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
とりあえず敵の手に落ちることだけは免れたってことよ。
ま、そういうことだな。まずはなんとか OK だ。
何が OK よ。
Now we're lost in space. It's our next show.
冗談じゃないわよ。私たちこれからどうなると思ってるのよ。
なんとかなるさ。
I'm with Mylene. It's like, you're a moron.
Not where I thought the episode was going to end. I thought we were at least going to get
Yeah.
some sort of resolution. Like, did they transport somewhere entirely random, or did they transport to the last coordinates of the system? So we'd see
Which you were
Lord
trying to do.
Geppen like ship out there or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have how many? 38 episodes? 30, 48, 38, 35 episodes to go?
We have more than the length of SDF Macross.
Yeah.
And at least there seems to be normally cohesive writing. Like I said, this entire episode was a countdown.
Yeah.
And nothing happened in the countdown until the last 5 seconds.
And we kept cutting back to the girl with the flowers, who can also has a little radio boombox with her. So that's an improvement. She can hold two things at once.
Nothing is answered with her.
Yeah.
Again, all she does is show up no matter where the people are.
Uh-huh. And
that's real Revenant behavior in my ass. So doesn't matter if they're on a. We never seen her in a car or anything. She just wherever they are. They could be on a different ship in the fleet. She's there.
And she's there too.
Sorry, did we forget that we're still kidnapped? What's going on here?
Apparently.
It feels like... Okay, so the people who abducted the ship, the infiltrators and everything, they're still on board. They still have their mechs. Yeah. Assumedly...
lost a couple of them, yeah. But
well, I mean, assumedly, though, Giggle is still out in space fighting the D1 squadron, so he's not here. So, in lieu of being kidnapped twice now, because I'm assuming both folds are just kidnaps, we're gonna put on a concert. Like, we're wondering who's the next audience gonna be. I mean, that can't be for the bad guys. And it looked like we were like, why was Gamlin there? Gamlin can't follow.
No, but I think what happened was Gamlin gets captured and he's getting tortured.
He was in a room filled with Lindman May stuff. Which would make me think, yeah, he gets thrown into a chair, and on the background a bunch of Lindman May posters, which would make me think this is maybe Mylene's room at the mansion, which is in City 7. So if maybe you're right. Maybe he gets captured by Giggle. Giggle had a ship. We put all the D squad in the ship, and the ship knows where. So that would then assume that they did get transported to the coordinates that were previously programmed in, because otherwise, how would Giggle know where they went? So they are where they should be.
They do have. Well, apparently they do have a way of tracking, because they talk about Spacefold Wake when they were looking for them.
I don't know. If that was true, then why would they have to go find the rock, then analyze the rock to find out where the rock came from? I hate that. That was just fucking stupid. Again, how would they know where any specific rock in space came from? One, that's stupid on its own. But two, assuming that, it was like the Sherlock Holmes thing of, he walked in, his shoes were covered in this mud, and this mud can only be found in this specific region, assuming that he's this kind of worker. Even if they did that kind of shit, they're basically the first ship that's going this way. Who's got that information? It doesn't fit the world building that we've been given so far. Nope. So I acknowledge the fact that the writers needed a reason or a way that they could follow. And if Fold Wake is a thing, should have gone with that. And now we have Sci-Fold, by the way, so who the hell knows? I'm assuming that's a step up on Fold technology.
It might explain why the enemies folding, it seems to be more accurate.
I don't know. The
But they're also
idea
talking
that
about
the idea that the rock was there implies that they have the same bubble fold thing, and the rock came with them.
no. I think this is actually even worse because I think it's the rock comes from the rocks that were floating around the planet, and that's what they end on. So it's a transposition. So when the ship goes there, but it brings leaves something
I
behind.
don't
And
think so. It
I
was
don't
such a
know.
tiny rock. I think we're working off of the SDF Macross rules of bubble came with. So the ship.
Yeah, but
There's a
and
whole
then how
bunch of
could?
ships.
Yeah. So no. I mean,
No, it
it
doesn't
has to come
dissuade
from
it.
the
I'm just.
place.
Yeah, no,
It
I'm
has
saying
the
that they
rock
must
has
have
to.
come from there.
Yeah.
Because they already covered that there was only so far that they could travel in one jump. So the idea must be that this is the waypoint that they go back and forth between. I'm assuming we're heading toward Lord Geppenlick's main ship. So if they make the same number of jumps to very specific locations, then that would have been the last place that the fleet was at. Um, the enemy fleet was at before they came here, and they just found
Yeah.
one rock. Why? What would even? That was Gamlen's
Yeah.
scanning ship, right? That finds the rock they bring back, and they figure out where. Why would you even? Oh no, my sensors are going off. There's a rock in space. I better pick it up. This is valuable. Better send it back to the boys in the lab. It's such a weird nonsense.
Yeah.
This is the disappointing thing.
Yeah, it's stretching it to the breaking point.
Well, no, I would. Second worst episode. Obviously, I'm keeping the Miltron thing is worst. But this
Well, I do
was.
like Maria was kicking ass. I like that part.
Yeah, no, I know, but literally the next episode is literally going to be about that. So we're going to get more of that. So I can say, if the next episode is literally about the fighting woman, Milia, not Miria, then I can say next episode's going to be great. But this episode, well, honestly, this episode wasn't even great for her. All she did was fly in the room, shoot the arm off of the mech holding the car her daughter is in, saying, I didn't know that was you." So she just randomly shot the. Also, we know that God, I suddenly forgot her name. What's her?
Mylene.
Mylene. We know Mylene's car doesn't have a roof, so the fact that she just flipped out during it could have instantly been crushed and killed by the falling car.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a great spatial awareness by her mom. So
which is weird because she's an ace pilot, but
yeah, so I'm assuming next episode's going to take more care about that. But yeah, at the end of the day, this episode was it was a to be continued second half thing, which should have been great, but literally nobody. And again, I like Battle 7. Battle 7's cool, Battle Bridge, Enterprise thing for me. But the fact they had no fucking idea and they had to find a rock in space to even make a guess, not great. And the entire episode is a 7-hour countdown where every time we go back and find out how far the countdown is, nothing has happened in between to make the intervening time matter. Everyone's driving through through the city with a boombox to distract everybody so that Basara can fly in to the control room and sing and do nothing. Because while he's singing, he's not doing a damn thing in that fight. And by the way, it took him 7 hours, 59 minutes, 55 seconds to get there. It was a 7-hour countdown, and it gets to 5 seconds before he punches the thing. But all that time that Milia is shooting the mechs and Mylene is trying to interact with the command console, and from the moment one that he gets into the room, we hear him singing in the background. He's done nothing. 6 hours, 59 minutes, 55 seconds.
He took one mech out. He basically, did a judo throw with one of them. That was about it.
Bad. This is just a bad episode. I have been a fan of this show the whole time. Even when the elements you didn't like, I've been like, well, it kind of makes sense, this and that. And to be fair, the only thing that I really complained about so far was the thing that they brought in from Do You Remember Love? So even beyond that, I wasn't even have that much of a problem with that episode. This episode sucked.
I mean, I'm waiting for the other ship to drop before I say that this episode completely sucked.
Well, I hope that the
But
ghost
it's not
flower
great.
girl isn't holding it. Otherwise, we're gonna get 5 flashbacks to it before. What was that about? We've got a counting. We've literally got a ticking clock with no stakes. And
well, I mean, the stakes are they get kidnapped. They get kidnapped.
Again,
well, they get secured by the kidnappers.
I think it's more interesting just to call it a second kidnapping, but literally, it was a ticking clock of 6 hours, 59 minutes, and 55 seconds before the hero of the show did jack all to stop it. Because assumedly he punches it and it still happened. Good use of time. This is the worst ticking clock in media. Well, because you think people would do so.
I'm agreeing with you.
I know. It's just I can't get over. I just can't get over it. This is a rock and roll ticking clock, and they use all the characters that they've built up. They even brought back the motorcycle girls to do nothing with. Because they just put boomboxes on the back of the motorcycles, and then they split in all different directions. And, oh god, what's going to happen when they send all the mechs out and they have to chase down all the girls and no one's there to defend them because Barsara's got to go to... Oh, wait, no. They just abort that and they call them all back and no one's in danger.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray's got to, distract them for another 30 minutes. He looks at his clock and says, oh, we have to distract. Oh, we don't go back to that either. That's just another thing we don't do anything about. But Fetus is standing on top of a building with a boombox. You even comment how cool the scene looked. We don't go back.
Awesome.
We don't go back there either. Not worth it. You know what? It's so not important that she doesn't even get investigated by a mech. The mech didn't even fly out there.
You know what? Let's just move on because this is becoming more and more painful the more I think about it. They wasted my girl Gafitas. Come on.
Well, they wasted a whole episode. I would have been more satisfied if this was a clip. If this was, a global report. Or, God forbid, a Phantasms.
I mean, more stuff happens in Phantasm if you think about it.
Yeah, but
more
I mean,
character
global report.
At least. Well,
our global report would at least be one character's perspective on what was happening. This wasn't anything. Anyway,
stuff happened. Yeah.
No. Nothing happened. This. I've been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?